everybody. Welcome back. It's your boy RM. And today, I want to talk about something very important. Very important, guys. So, you've probably heard of the argument evolve to crab or return to monkey, right? So, you've probably heard that argument right on the internet. And let's just say today, I have figured out the true answer, the one that should solve all the mysteries. And this answer is we must evolve to crab, and I have found some very damning evidence. I'm gonna show you this video I found. Oh, it's gonna be so not sketchy.
Off the coast of what's now New Zealand, a spiny, leggy creature with claws cruised the Pacific Ocean looking for food. This creature was an ancient ancestor of modern-day king crabs.
Ah, there they are. Look at that crabs.
It had a round, spiky carapace and a body about the size of a baseball, but not much else is known about it.
Looks like a spiky potato.
This is the only one of its kind ever found. And based on how modern king crabs live,
look at that
scientists
thing.
think that Paralomus probably lived in very deep,
He's a
cold
spiky
water.
boy.
But no matter how Paralomus spent its days, scientists agree that if you saw one today, you'd recognize it as a crab. But it wasn't a crab, at least not a true crab. Paralomus and its modern counterparts belong to an
Can't be such a
infraorder
thing.
known as Anomura, a huge group of crustaceans that includes everything from the porcelain crab to the coconut crab.
Oh, that thing's cute. Look at that thing. Look at that thing, guys.
And am I the only one who's really horrified by coconut?
Yes, you are the only one that's horrified by crabs. Dude, get it together.
Anyway, none of those animals that we call crabs are actually crabs. They all evolved from crustaceans that were longer and had tails, with a body plan more like a shrimp.
You're saying lobsters.
And then, for some reason, these animals evolved into things that looked like crabs, independently, over and over again.
Because evolving the crab must be very powerful.
Imposters, I tell you.
You see, evolving the crab must be very important, guys. You see, because apparently lobsters evolve into crabs.
Why does this keep happening? What is it about the crab's form that makes it so evolutionarily successful?
It is superior.
So successful that non-crabs are apparently jealous of it? Well, it might sound odd.
We humans should be jealous.
A shell, but the answer seems to be that it's all about flexibility. Crab-like creatures date back to the late Devonian period, about 365 million years ago.
That's a long
time. They started
time.
with the first decapod crustaceans, like Paleopalaemon. Decapods are named for their 10 feet, and their order includes things like shrimp, crayfish, lobsters,
I only
and
have
crabs,
2.
both true and false. And Paleopalaemon is the oldest
Does that make me a
lobster-like
false
decapod
crab?
ever found, and also one of the oldest decapods, period. It probably lived on the seafloor, like a modern lobster does, and may have had specialized feeding appendages for browsing around on soft seafloor mud. But then, around 260 million years ago, decapods split into 2 groups. The Anomurans, or those false, fake, wannabe crabs.
When you think about it, it takes a lot of work just to become a crab, so why would you want to be a wannabe crab? Why not become, like, a true crab? I don't know, that's just kind of what I've been thinking about, because I don't understand why you would want to be a fake crab when you could just become a true crab.
And the Brachyurans, or true crabs, the crabs that aren't lying to you. The oldest undisputed true crab is Eoprosopon, a crustacean that lived 185
Thank you for not lying to me,
million years ago in the early
Eoprosopon.
Jurassic period. And for a while, scientists argued over whether it actually belonged in the crab family, because it has some uncrab-like traits, like a slightly more elongated abdomen and really prominent antennae. But after re-evaluating the only known specimen with new imaging techniques, experts decided that Eoprosopon was a very early member of the Brachyura. Now, on the other side of the decapod family tree, there's Platycota, just a little older than Eoprosopon, at about 200 million years old, from the late Triassic period. It's thought to be the oldest false crab, and it looked more like a lobster. But over the course of evolutionary time, both the Anomurans and the Brachyurans came closer and closer to what we think of as the crab shape that we know today. In both groups, time and time again, a crustacean started out with the elongated body of a lobster, only to evolve into the rounder, flatter shape of a crab.
Because
and
it's
scientists
superior.
have been trying to figure out why this happens for more than 100 years. One of the first naturalists to recognize this was an English zoologist named
Maybe
Lancelot
it's just
Alexander
superior
Borrell.
because crabs
In
are the
1916,
superior
he named the
being.
process carcinization, which means
You know, that's why we
become
should reject
and
monkey.
he also described how he thought the process happened. Basically, the long tail of a lobster, called a pleon,
We should evolve to
grows
lobster.
shorter over time and gets tucked under the body. And at the same time, the narrow front part of the lobster, the carapace, grows wider and flatter until it eventually winds up looking like what we'd call a crab. Okay, but so why would these animals repeatedly go from being long and narrow to flat and round? Well, back in the 1980s, a study analyzed all of the fossil
You
crustaceans
see,
throughout
just
the
because
whole
they're
Mesozoic
superior
era and
build,
discovered that there was an explosion of crab-shaped crustaceans during this span of time. Another more recent study found that this phenomenon really took off during the
who
Cretaceous
wouldn't want
period,
to be a
which
crab?
experts sometimes call the
I want to be a
Cretaceous
crab.
Crab Revolution, or if you prefer, the
Hell
Mesozoic
yeah. Let's be crabs, everyone. We need to evolve to lobster first, so reject monkey, become lobster. Today.
Decapod Revolution. If you happen to have a band that you've started that needs a name, both of those are available. Nearly
I'll
80%
take
of
it.
the major groups
I'll
of
take your
true
band
crabs that
names.
we know today originated in this
Crab
period.
Revolution,
And
everyone.
throughout the Mesozoic era, there was a long-term shift in diversity toward more crab-shaped species, specifically toward true crabs, and
Well,
away
you
from
see,
long-bodied
crabs are
ones. The
people.
crab-like creatures also seem to have exploited many more different kinds of habitats than their more lobstery
I
relatives.
love
One
exploiting
possible
things.
explanation for this is that their shape allowed for greater mobility. The rounder, flatter shape of crabs lets crabs walk, run, swim, and burrow more efficiently.
They're probably
There are
better
even
at
crabs that
politics
can
than us,
climb
too.
trees, which is its own special kind
Ooh,
of
look at that
nightmare
thing. He's so
fuel.
cute.
By contrast,
Let me just say, coconut crabs
animals
are
that are
very
shaped more
awesome.
like lobsters or shrimp are often limited to just swimming, burrowing, or scuttling on the ground. Other
Oh,
researchers say the
they're so
transformation to a
cool,
crab
though.
shape was a way for
You
organisms
gotta
to
respect
better
the
evade
lobster.
predators. By losing the pleon, that long tail, they had one
Cleons are
less
pretty cool,
delicious
though.
appendage that predators
They can
might
swim
grab
pretty quick
onto.
with that.
So, since the crab shape allowed crustaceans to go more places, do more things,
Mm-hmm.
and evade more predators, that shape was selected for
See?
over time.
It's
And
very
lots of
useful.
elongated crustaceans came
That's
to be
very
shaped like
important to
crabs,
everyone.
even if they weren't crabs. But of course, sometimes certain adaptations, no matter how helpful they might seem, just don't stick. And, just to keep things interesting, there have been many instances in which crustaceans lost their crab-like shape. This is called,
What?
you guessed it, decarcinization. This has
Oh,
happened among true crabs, like in a
why
fossil
would you do
crab called
that?
Chimera perplexa. Its name means perplexing, beautiful chimera, and it lived between
Ooh.
95 million and 90 million years ago, during that Cretaceous crab revolution thing. And it looked kind of like a crab,
Yeah.
but not totally. Its large
Some
eyes
big
weren't on
eyes.
stalks. It had
Ooh.
front limbs shaped kind of like oars, and its
That thing
body
looks like
shape
it's
wasn't
straight out
quite
of
the
an
same as what
anime.
we
What the
normally
heck?
think of as crabby. Look at those big, adorable eyes. It's like the baby Yoda of crabs. All told, the phenomenon of
Agreed.
carcinization is one of the more fascinating examples of convergent evolution. There are a lot of reasons a crustacean might evolve into the shape of a crab, even if it's not actually a crab. It allows for a lot of versatility in locomotion and lifestyle. Today, crabs can clamber around the deep sea, scuttle over beaches, burrow
Ooh,
into
look at
the
that
sand,
boy.
and propel
Look at him
themselves through the
go.
water. They live in freshwater, saltwater, and on land. They're pretty much everywhere, true crabs and false alike. At the end of the day, it's all about how well an organism can survive in its environment.
Damn right. And you know what? That's all I need to see. So, what I've learned, guys, is instead of return to monkey, even though we didn't actually come from monkeys, we came from a common ancestor. Instead of going back to Australopithecus, we should evolve to crabs. Because you see, all the problems we have in our world today could be solved if we just became crabs. So, we need to evolve to crabs. But how are we going to evolve to crabs? Well, we're kind of long and narrow, right? Or I should say, an average human should be. So that means we should evolve to lobster. We should evolve to lobster, guys. Reject monkey. Don't return to monkey. Evolve to lobster. Then evolve to crab, is what I'm hearing. And that's what we need to do. That's what we need to take a lesson at the end of the day. So we need to become lobsters, and then we should evolve to crab, and then we will truly be superior compared to any other creature on this planet, because we will be smart crabs, not dumb crabs. Because crabs are people too, people. You should know this, obviously. And that's all I have for today, everyone. Like and subscribe, and hit the notification for a random upload. You know what? I'm just gonna let you off with that, guys. And you have a wonderful day. Bye bye bye.